Jerusalem authorities right now believe that these attacks came at the hands of lone wolves. Do you believe that?
Well, they may have been acting alone, but they were certainly inspired by Abbas and others who are making this into a religious war.
All right, folks, welcome to Gimme 5. Carol Costello and the women at CNN are at it again. No, this time they're not trashing Republican women. Carol Costello's not saying, oh, this is the best video ever, and then playing Sarah Palin's daughter talking about getting attacked by a man. Jerusalem authorities, which implies that the Israeli government would never use the term lone wolf attack. Never, ever, ever. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my pen cap. I don't have a hat. There's no such thing as a lone wolf attack in Israel. And right away, the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine claimed credit for this. So I don't know what she's talking about, a lone wolf attack. And Alan Dershowitz, man, he's going to get it from two of these CNN anchors, but he gives it right back. Watch.
You know, the media bears some responsibility here. They consistently create a moral equivalence between terrorists who butcher innocent people and policies of a democracy like Israel. Even CNN this morning talked without comment about this being a revenge attack because of a hanging. Well, the hanging was a suicide by a Palestinian, at least according to Israeli officials.
That's not what the Palestinians believe.
I understand that, but they
talk. Going back to the Temple Mount, right? Israel's restricting access to certain Palestinians, and that has ratcheted tensions up in the area.
Ooh, is that ratchet up tensions in the area? You know, Carol, Al-Qaeda doesn't like the way we operate. They probably didn't like that we have female politicians, that we have strip clubs, that we have bars, that we have freedom. Should we have, is that a reason that Al-Qaeda flew the planes into the buildings? You know, they didn't like what we do. Yeah, I mean, when you make excuses for terrorists, then you're making excuses for all terrorists, because each terrorist rationalizes what he's doing because he doesn't like something. So if you sympathize with Palestinians having a gripe in their own minds and they could kill innocents and slaughter them like cows, then why can't Al-Qaeda? Why can't ISIS? More.
Even though Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian leader, condemned these attacks on the synagogue.
He condemned them along with condemning all other attacks. He really won't take the courageous stand of saying terrorism is always wrong and it's part of the policy of Hamas and we have to stop inciting it, inspiring it. And when the media creates a moral equivalence between the two, it incentivizes violence.
Absolutely. And Mahmoud Abbas did not. He condemned it. And then if you kept listening, he said, but Israel has to stop doing this and stop doing that. In other words, keep it up, Jews, and there'll be more dead rabbis. That's a condemnation? Is Carol Costello and the media dumb? Or are they playing a willful game? Are they being willful idiots? Huh? Willing idiots. One more from her.
And I have to tell you, Benjamin Netanyahu has been doing a wonderful job trying to de-escalate the tensions. We cannot allow this to be turned into a religious war.
I can't say the tensions have been much de-escalated.
Well, they ended the restrictions of access to the top of the mountain. That what has to be made sure is that this is not...
Why did they put the restrictions on?
Because there was violence. And you always put restrictions. Look, in Ferguson, there are restrictions on access. We do that in the United States.
Right. Maybe if the rioters in Ferguson don't like the restrictions that have been imposed or will be imposed, maybe Carol would say, well, then maybe they'll just start murdering, you know, police officers' family members while they're in church. You know, well, why did they put those restrictions in? Huh? I mean, that's what she's saying. And here is Ashley Banfield. You want to hear something crazy?
And then ultimately, when you're looking at, I think Americans can really identify with this, having been involved in a war on terror for 13 years. It is still a war. It is not just crimes. Effectively, there's a philosophical war going on, and soldiers come in all forms. And when you have mandatory conscription and service in Israel, effectively the Palestinians will say it's war against everyone because everyone's a soldier.
Well, that's just racism and bigotry to say that everyone is a soldier.
Everyone is a soldier? Rabbis conducting religious services in a synagogue are soldiers? Children are soldiers? Because eventually they'll be drafted? Ashley Banfield, sick.